All right, so for Runeterra stuff, we play a lot of viewer submissions just like we do for Magic things. This deck that we are starting off with first here today is a build-around submission for this very amusing titled card out of the third set here, the Squirrel, which has fantastically adorable artwork. Is a 3/4 for 4 to start. That when it strikes, which means when it hits something, so long as it has 1 or more power, it doubles its power. So, what are we doing with Squirrel? So, the first thing that jumped to my mind for building with this card was finding a good way to give it Overwhelm or Trample consistently. And I think Zenith Blade out of the Targon faction is the best way to pair with that. So this grants an ally 1 attack and 2 toughness and Overwhelm. Grant is a permanent modifier, so this permanently gives it Overwhelm and that bonus, so helps it stay alive a little bit better. And then, since I was going to be in Ionia and Targon for these 2 cards, it felt kind of natural to build a support shell with Taric and Lulu. The support mechanic, for those not familiar, is a combat-based mechanic where the card providing support gives a bonus to the thing immediately to its right when attacking. So the order in which your attackers are in Runeterra often frequently matters. One support card out of Targon as well that's, again, very good with Squirrel is Mentor of the Stones. So because Squirrel's a 4-drop, we can play Mentor before it. And Mentor grants its supported ally +2/+2. So if you attack with Mentor and Squirrel together, Squirrel's going to turn into a 10 power thing after that first hit. And this again gives it more toughness to help keep it alive longer. And when Mentor of the Stones dies, it creates gems, which can heal Squirrel from damage it's taken as well. The rest of the deck is just kind of the Ionia Targon support shell. So we've got Flower Child here that gets bigger when it gets supported. We've got 2-drop supports like Herald of the Spring, Tayari the Traveler, as well as Young Witch. Young Witch in specific is also very good with Squirrel because she grants a quick attack when she supports it, so it hits first in combat so it doesn't die. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into some games here with this and see how it goes. For people that are hanging out that haven't seen Runeterra before, I'll talk through some of the core basics of the gameplay. The gameplay is similar to Magic in that both players play out on every turn. There's a priority-based system where you go back and forth with players playing cards. The resource system is more similar to Hearthstone in that there's no resource variance though, and you acquire 1 extra resource every turn. My opponent's playing Leona Diana here. One of the things that's great about Runeterra is you get to make informed mulliganing decisions in a best-of-1 game. So based on these champions, they are probably an aggressively slanted mid-range deck. I think I'm going to keep Lulu and Tayari. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan these 2, looking for some cheaper cards for these to support well. Ideally, we'd love to see like a Flower Child here. Perfect. Now, even though both players are playing each turn and both players refresh their mana each turn, the thing that kind of rotates back and forth or defines my turn versus their turn is who has the attack token. So you are basically attacking every other turn in this game. Attacking and blocking is similar to Magic in that they declare attackers and I declare blockers. This attack would not be great because they'd eat my thing and my thing would die. So I'd rather just take 3 here. We're going to go to my turn. You'll see both players draw a card on my turn, gain a resource back here. Flower Child here is the best support 1-drop while we're playing them, and would love to have this on 1 every time. So whenever this gets supported, it gets 2 attack permanently. So now I need to decide, do I want to attack with these? The upside to attacking here is Flower Child would become a 3/4 permanently because of the grant bonus from this and Flower Child. The downside here is that would allow them to trade their 2/1 for my Tayari, but I think I'm okay with that trade. I mean, the trade itself isn't stellar, but getting this into a 3/4 is super reasonable. It gives me a lot of board presence. So now I have to decide, do I want to block here? The question of blocking is damage is permanent in this game, so if I block, the 2 damage is gonna carry over. think I'm in to block here. If they have a pump spell, I have a Steel Tempest to blow them out. One of the things that's very different from Magic is combat tricks are very constructed playable in this game. So, one of the things I'm actually not 100% sure on in this game is how Lulu interacts with Flower Child. So, Lulu sets her supported ally to 4/4, but Flower Child also gets to attack bigger when it gets supported. That being said, I can find out here. So, if I put these up to attack and I mouse over the eye, I can see here that the eye shows me that my card becomes a 6/4. So even though I wasn't 100% sure on the rules there, the client provides me with information to find out how the rules work myself. That being said, I think I want a Swole Squirrel before attacks here. Probably not. So the way combat system in this game works is your things can attack the turn you play them. However, if you don't start the turn by attacking, if I play this Squirrel, my opponent would get a chance to play out a blocker. So because I currently have the lead on board, it makes sense to start by attacking because I don't want them to play out a blocker when I'm ahead on board. And this is a good example. So if I would have played out Squirrel pre-combat, my opponent would have gotten to play Leona and stun something and then have a good blocker, and I would have no longer have had good attacks.
Heavens are divided, Diana, but sun and moon are ever linked.
Just gonna go ahead and pass here. This says Challenger, so it can force something I have to block, but all my things are big enough that they don't really care about that.
Night flowers upon my blade, the promise of a new moon upon you, Runeterra.
So, you'll see here, I didn't spend any mana that turn. However, you'll note that I saved 3 of my 5 mana. So, up to 3 mana, you can carry over turn to be able to utilize later on. So, Lulu champions level up when a certain condition has been met. So, Lulu's gonna level up the next time something gets supported. So, she's gonna level this turn when she attacks. So, I think I start by attacking like this, and you can see it shows me she's gonna level up. And I'm okay attacking with her because she's gonna level up, and when she levels up, she turns into a 3/4. And I have this combat trick in my hand to make her bigger. So if they block her with the 3/5, I can pump her up to kill this.
Where are you going, Pix? What are you doing? Ooh, nice.
I will protect you. You cannot hold us down.
So now I have to decide, do I want a Pale Cascade here? I think the answer is yes. So now these will trade, or this will eat this.
I need your light.
Swole Squirrel's gonna hit them and double its power to 8. Wonderful. See another Leona, but Daylight. So a lot of their cards have the Daybreak mechanic, which they get a bonus if they're the first card they play in the turn. Yes, Lulu levels up very easily. Both Lulu and Leona both level up super quick. So Lulu's leveled form, in addition to being bigger, creates this Help Pix card every turn, which either lets me make something vulnerable or gain a barrier.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
They're playing a Leona out here, which is going to stun my strongest enemy, so my Squirrel's gonna get stunned here.
Full of surprises, ever at odds, but never apart. The sun's splendor revealed.
I'm gonna go ahead and Help Pix Lulu. I think I'm gonna go ahead and Taric here. I have 9 total mana, so even if I Taric, I can still Concussive Palm, which is nice.
I'm ready to shine.
So you want to be a sunflower, eh?
So you want to be a sunflower, eh? It would have been more correct to give barrier to Flower Child, so my higher attack power thing had a barrier there.
Clad in shining sunlight.
So normally, well, I'm not attacking this turn, Magikarp, so he's not going to copy anything. Normally, Daybreak only triggers on the first card they play each turn, but they have this Daylight Spear, so it's always day for them. And this is actually the upside to giving Lulu the barrier here, is this way they don't stun Lulu. Wow, they just passed. Okay. Wow, that's a good draw. So Mountain Sojourners has the support mechanic, but more importantly, it supports everything down along the line. So if I have multiple supports, which I do, the bonus for this carries across all of the supports. A very good draw here. I have 11 mana total, so I can help Pix, Mountain Sojourners, and Concussive Palm or Whimsy.
You're Taric, the Protector.
Climb well, and good luck on your journey.
So this stuns my Swole Squirrel.
Behold the sun's holy light.
Alright, so if I help Pix my Taric, Taric copies a spell that was cast on him onto the thing he supports. So if I use this to give him a barrier, he'll give a barrier to Lulu. And Help Pix is notably what's called a burst spell, so when I play it here, my opponent does not gain priority afterwards. So this will turn Flower Child into a 9/7 here, and Swole Squirrel goes up to a 6. Oh, Swole Squirrel going up to a 6 assumes it hits. I think that's still fine though. This is stunned, so it can't attack. It might also be right to do this, because Swole Squirrel gets pretty big that way.
Guess we're going.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pump up Squirrel this turn.
Never submit.
As you can see here, Taric cast that barrier over onto Lulu. Let's see how they want to set up their blocks here.
Power before our might.
You cannot sway me. Face my shield.
Taric levels very quickly. So now I have to decide who do I want to save with this Whimsy. So Whimsy transforms a follower into a 1/1 and silences it. So I can either save Flower Child and turn this into a 1/1, or I can save Sojourners. I think I want to save Sojourners here, because not only is this card a huge payoff with my other supports, but getting rid of their Always Sunny is also very profitable here. Makes their Leona a lot worse.
Be free, Lou.
Yeah, killing Always Sunny is a lot of upside. That being said, I'm going to be in a really good spot next turn with all these stuns in my hand, because I'm going to bank 1 mana and gain 9 for the turn, so I can actually stun 3 things next turn. It's going to be very difficult for my opponent to kill me. How was Magic today? The big red deck that we played was incredibly good. Gonna end up putting it up on the website.
When will this bloody conflict end?
All things in cycles. Someday we will be one.
Okay, so I think I want to give something a barrier here. probably want it to be... Oh, they're not going to be stunning anything, right? I think I'm going to give it to Lulu. I think I'm going to go ahead and play... Do I play Young Witch? If I play Young Witch, I have 2 stuns in combat, which I think is plenty.
I love flying vegetables. They're fast and great for tummy rumbles.
The mountain speaks to those who listen.
We're going to have really good attacks next turn. We'll get to support Lulu onto the Young Witch, and this will go all the way down the line. Wow, yeah, we're going to level Taric here, too. So, casting. Whoa, that's the Twin Disciples. Okay, so, thinking. I think I just do this. Actually, I don't even want to put the barrier on here, because he's going to give himself and the thing next to him invincible, right? Because he's going to level up. His leveled mode gives they can't damage or die. So I think I actually just put the barrier on my Sojourners, just in case.
Preserve beauty and protect all life.
A little farther. Hold tight. Tremendo!
Pretty good attack. Lulu making trumpet sounds makes me feel things, but
I will protect you.
This is the wrong path.
yeah, Squirrel getting to do its thing down over here too, which is great. Alright, so they went to 11. I can put them to 1, but that doesn't really do anything for me, so I think I just press OK. Their board's getting pretty decimated.
Proud warrior.
Hey, thanks for the half a year, Mommy. Welcome back.
Shining soft.
Alright, current Squirrel record is 30 power. I didn't play in this game in the super early beta. It is a 30/8. This squirrel works out, chat. This squirrel works out, okay? Now they did invoke here, and they have 2 celestial cards in their hand, so we could see something that like obliterates some of my champions here. Yeah, Supernova is very good. I don't think it's the game by any means, but it definitely makes us in a little bit of a less commanding spot than we were prior. The moose is loose, chat. The moose is loose.
The warrior, deliberate and ruthless.
So definitely starting the turn by attacking. We're gonna give the squirrel with lower life the quick attack.
Everyone okay?
Mountain Sojourners carrying all the way down the line. It's very possible that I need a third Sojourners in here. I'm only playing 2 right now. Alright, so you're going to 9, but you're still dead, right? Because this is 10. I have a +3 here just in case. Yeah, I should probably have a third Sojourners. Yeah, they're good in multiples. I just wanted to keep the curve low in the deck. Was the reason why I didn't have 3 at first. That's probably wrong. Probably just like cut the cheeky deny. We didn't get to see the 60 power Squirrel. It's a shame. Misfortune Gangplank. Definitely not keeping both Squirrels. Honestly, this might be a full mulligan. Yeah, I've got 3 Zenith Blades in our deck, Suskind. Zenith Blade gives Overwhelm. Just unfortunately did not see any of that last game. So, Misfortune Gangplank, likely an aggressive deck. Misfortune's a very aggressive champion. 3-drop, 3/3. That whenever an ally attacks, she deals 1 damage to all battling enemies and our Nexus.
Explosives primed.
Yep. So, as expected, something aggressive. They get to hit us for 3 here on the play.
Everything's in place.
Probably offer the trade of Taric for this if they don't play anything else out.
I won't stop now.
Remember the objectives. Make the Empire proud.
I think I just Zenith Blade here. Making this a 3/4 seems good.
They'll never see it coming.
I will reach the peak. Stay the path. I will reach the peak.
Take 6 here.
Reaching the peak will change everything.
Yeah, the opponent was on the play and had a very good start this game.
Stop eating or no more walkies.
They have a second make it rain I just concede here.
Favors the bold.
I will do this.
Hello, friends.
So they get to eat this one, but these 2 are fairly large, which is good.
Party.
No, Bender.
Your path ends here.
Just be
Beauty.
So this gives them an okay open on attacks next turn. We just stun this now. This gives us, stunning this now gives us the 3/2 to block with as well. So if they want to attack here,
Oh, he likes you.
take 2.
damn it.
Another concussive palm is decent. So I can Taric into Zenith Blade on Taric.
But I'll help where I can.
There's a lot of elusives. So if I attack like this turns into a 4-3 and a 5-3.
Face me.
Never submit.
Oh, don't get too close. You can't do this.
I know what I'm doing.
What on earth do these blocks mean? They're gonna. It means they're gonna burn us out. Got it. that's what these blocks mean. Okay. So I assume we're gonna die to a decimate next turn.
Be free, Lulu.
Is there a way to see graveyards? There is not.
No one's the wiser.
I mean, I guess you could theoretically scroll through the game log here. Wait, are we not dead yet? I guess we're like playing around deny or life game theoretically. I'm gonna stun this so it can't get its attack triggered. I assume we're dead here. Yeah, there's the decimate. Really close game. Didn't get Squirrel going there. And like my opponent's start was like really good that game, right? And like we still just like we're one turn off of closing it out. So, Leona, Aesol, what's his name? BBG has been playing a variation of this. Pretty controlling, generally speaking, a Radiant Guardian deck. I think I'm full mulliganing here, looking for pressure. Don't need my anti-aggro cards for sure. See them adding some sort of best of 3 mode. I don't really think they need a best of 3 mode. I don't think it would necessarily be a bad thing if they added it, but I also don't think it's necessary. Runeterra is not a game like Magic where you don't get to play 1 out of every 3 games or 1 out of every 2 games. The reason why it's so important that Magic offer best of 3 is because it has an incredible number of non-games, whereas Runeterra, most games, both players play competitive.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Whoa, meet Lulu. Lulu, this is Glow. Hi, Glow. I like your petals.
So I could open on attacks here. Opening on attacks is ideal in the event that they have Leona. However, if I play Herald of Spring, I could level Lulu this turn. So there's a little bit of like risk to reward on how I want to start this turn. I think I'm supposed to just start by attacking here. I'm gonna put Lulu second so that way she gets defense from here so she can't trade for this 3-2.
You cannot sway me. Back, heretic.
Do I save Flower Child or my 2-2? I think I save Flower Child.
Just be
Yeah, I agree. Sideboarding in a lot of ways feels like a crutch that allows you to make up for otherwise bad game design. I think I just let this happen. And then I just, like, play this. Because this is going to level. I think we just let this happen.
Free, Lulu. Stop eating or no more
say?
Ours is the one true light.
Just a little farther.
God, Mountain Sojourners is just so absurd. Look at it. Look at this. Just like 1-2 to 9-2 on this attack. Love it.
Rarely seen Pix. She's super cute. Yeah. Oh, don't get too close.
Your move, Yugi boy.
Leave or burn.
The guilty will burn.
Yeah, I agree with that, Maka Art. The core game design in general of this game tends to
Carry her light across.
Behold the divine power of the sun.
That's fine. You've stunned her.
Glorious light rains down.
I'm supposed to play this out as just a 3-2 here. Glad we didn't. So Help Pix is a burst spell, so again, I could... Now, decisions, chat. Decisions. How do we feel? So, if I'm going to play this, what if I hush Leona to start? If I'm not going to open attacks, what do we think of hush this, then play this?
We're in this together.
Right.
So now they can't Daybreak. I could also maybe help Pix barrier this. Could be a good play.
My shield is yours.
Opponent surrenders, yep. Yeah, you didn't let me make my board, huge opponent. Come back. Dude,
Go around again.
let's go around again. Yeah, the Lulu core sequence. I will say the one thing that this build that we're currently playing does differently than some of the builds I've played in the past is that this build specifically is playing the full set of concussive palms, and that card's felt very good. The previous iteration of Lulu Taric that we have played didn't feel like it had enough interaction against other aggro decks, and being able to stun things definitely feels like it fixes that a little bit. It's a great draw.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
So they're playing Orion Sol, but their deck seems kind of aggressive here. It's an interesting mix of decisions. Zenith played this to start, because if I play this as my first card for the turn, it draws me into their Zenith Blade. Then we can play this out and then attack. This will be a 3-4 and this will be a 3-4.
Flowers bring the moonlight with them.
Stop eating or no more walkies!
I won't stop now.
I'm okay trading either of these for this 5-3.
You spurn my gift?
Hey, Peak and Fern, thank you for the 30 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Trying to figure out which one they want to get rid of here.
Leave me no recourse.
This one has Overwhelm, so we get to pump trample over a little bit. It's definitely, again, I discourage people away from trying to judge the opponent's deck too much. You don't know all the details, like, seeing just the champions definitely does not tell you the entire story about what their deck is doing. So rather than assuming you know,
From the protector himself.
Mother Moon Berry.
Taric, are you here to help me?
The journey is yours, but I'll help where I can. Fade and be gone.
well, they don't have Pale Cascade up here, so now I gotta decide, do I want a Squirrel to start? I think I want a Zenith Blade Taric to start. And then I can play Tayari here.
Bask in her radiant blessing. I'm not as strong as you were. What if I can't make it?
No, you have nothing to prove, but to yourself.
So if I attack like this, Taric will cast Zenith Blade onto this. So I'm going to end up with a 3-6, a 3-2, and a 3-4. So they can trade for this, but these two will be pretty large, and Taric will get pretty close to leveling. So it seems good for me. Is it 4 of 7? I'm at 10, but my opponent's losing their board. I've got Tempest Steel here to stun them off of things. Could be a next level move to influence mulligans. That's true. They could just be playing like a cheeky one of Assault to make people pause and think about what they could be doing. So Taric says targeting or support. So support does not count as targeting, but Taric levels on either of those actions. Am I saving Tayari? I think so.
Go on, Pix! Just like the Yellow Flute said! Perfecto! Well, this isn't the way of the glade.
You were never truly lost, Lulu.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night. I hear thunder on the horizon. Forgive me.
The mountain endures.
Definitely can't take a 4-ball here. So she's gonna make a help picks, which I think we open on just giving this a barrier so they can't use a deal 1 to kill him before he levels up. I have 6 mana total now, so I have to decide, do I want to Zenith Blade or do I want to Swole Squirrel plus Flower Child? I think I want a Squirrel plus Child here. Seems good.
Never submit. I am the protector of the mountain.
No, I think it's very wrong to give my opponent... I think there's a good chance my Taric dies if I don't start the turn by giving it a barrier. I also have a stun to deal with their elusive next turn, so I'm not super worried about that.
Must we fight?
On a power level perspective, do you think Lulu's level up condition is too easy? I think that's the wrong way to approach talking about cards mecha. I think a card is a sum of its parts, so you don't just look at Lulu as it's too easy to level up. The question is Lulu as a whole too strong?
Whatever the cost.
Just gonna do this because I don't think they're gonna get another turn. Help Pix is pretty powerful. It is. I agree with that. Yup. Speaking of cards that are very good. So these two are stunned now as long as this is out. I'm not killing that, so I think I just overwrite Taric. They're still dead? I mean, I have Hearthstone lethal. I currently have Hearthstone lethal, that's true. So do I just assume they have nothing in attack?
Pix! Come wake him up.
I beat a gain 5, right?
Get him, Pix!
So I give this vulnerable, and then I attack with these. Yeah, I beat a gain 5 here, so I think that's fine.
Victory is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth making them have it there, and it looks like they were conceding to us doing so. Yeah, it's tough. Like, there are so many fast cards in this game and burst things and interactive pieces that, like, just because you have them dead to open attacks, they have a bunch of cards and a bunch of mana, doesn't mean they're just dead, right? Hearthstone. Hearthstone's lethal is a good phrase for that, right? They're, like, dead if they can't interact. There's a good chance they can interact. Alright, so I am attacking on evens. This is fine. I'm going to keep this. Opponent is playing Trundle Acel, which is a ramp control deck. Huh. Pale Cascade's actually not a bad pickup. Pale Cascade kind of makes me want to bank my mana, so that way I can protect my Mentor of Stone. No, it doesn't protect Mentor from Avalanche, actually. JK, oh well.
Speak, stars. Speak, I say.
So this gives them an extra mana crystal. Like I said, they're a ramp deck. If they have Avalanche here, they kill these two, but then I get to gem the Swole Squirrel. Avalanche deals 2 damage to all units for 4 mana.
So many tinies.
Celestial power.
Just you, huh?
Hush is rough there. I think I'm playing a 4-drop here.
Now we have fun.
Is taking 10 absurd? I think it's not, right? Because I have the moose to gain some life back with next turn.
Don't worry, I am here.
I'm not panicking, you're panicking.
Okay, there's an Avalanche. This is gonna deal 2 to everything. Can I just say, okay, that happens? Spell Shield blocks all spells. No, Spell Shield does block Avalanche, blue deck. It stops it just for that thing with Spell Shield, though. So if I Pale Cascade on this, I would get to draw 2 cards. I could double gem this to heal it, but that only gets it to 5. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4... I didn't say it stops your own spells. I said it stops Avalanche when your opponent avalanches you. Oh, we're talking about their spell shield. Yeah, in that case you are correct.
Never submit.
Oh, I just roped out. Oh, you know what? This has tough. Yeah, I messed up. I should have double gemmed Taric there. I forgot Taric had tough. It's a pretty big mistake.
Today, base camp. Tomorrow, the summit.
We made it, Brim! I wanna go home!
We can win from there. Even if I would have saved Taric there, the 8/8, that 8/8 seems pretty unbeatable. Like last time we played Lulu Taric, that was a card that felt pretty impossible for us to interact with. Yeah. We just don't have any hard removal or challengers in this deck, and I don't think you can meaningfully change the deck to add those effects. Has Shillionaire been claimed yet? I mean, we do have a Shillionaire, but it's not like it's a one and done type thing. The dial-up dragon is deadly. That's a good name for it. The stun dragon completely shuts down support decks in my experience. Yeah, that makes sense. These are like go wide aggro decks basically, and that card prevents you from going wide. It shuts off a third of your board. Sure, you need to play Iona's Will. I don't know. I feel like that's just super narrow though. That card's pretty mediocre in a lot of other spots. pretty good.
Like this. Off we go! Slow down!
Hush does not wipe the targets off of it, correct?
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
Enter, traveler.
I'm gonna go ahead and play Mentor rather than Lulu here, because I would like to Mentor onto my Witch, so that way it doesn't die to their Challenger. They obviously get to kill my Mentor of Stones, but that's fine too.
Don't worry, I am here.
You're Taric, the Protector.
Climb well, and good luck on your journey.
The age of dragons is begun.
Huh? Do I want to attack into Vox here? I could throw away my Mountain Sojourners to, like, get 2/2 on both of these and get Taric a bunch of triggers. I think that's worthwhile.
Stay focused. Brace yourselves.
Can I paint you?
We gotta dodge that Stun Dragon again. Maybe we do need to play Will of Iona to have an out to that card. Nope, no Stun Dragon yet.
Go on, Pix! Just like the Elefloop said! Perfecto! Well, this is the way of the glade.
You were never truly
Declan
lost.
suggested I keep Haley with you so I could get some stuff done.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to watch Daddy play the game, Haley?
What's going on, baby girl? Oh, God, that's so brutal. They generated a challenger off of this that now self-enables. That gets to eat Lulu now. Whimsy could be a better answer. That doesn't do anything, Waffle. That doesn't kill it. This is still end of turn. It's not permanent.
Come wake him up.
I think we just pass. They're gonna eat Lulu, and then we play another Lulu out. Yeah, Vox triggers itself.
What do you think of blue instead?
You cute girl. Gross. So they're gonna get to Orient Sol next turn. Right, or are they one off? No, yeah, they get to Orient Sol, right? Yeah, with these two. Alright, so I think we lead on Tayari, and then we can Mountain Sojourners and hope for the best.
Starting your climb, Tiari. It's about
Does Whimsy
time.
wipe targets from the dragon? No. It does not.
Today is the day we master the mountain.
I know we can reach the top if we work together.
Just a little farther.
What do you think, Kaylee's daddy gonna win?
Hold tight.
Go, daddy, go.
Go, Daddy, go.
Preserve
Go, Daddy,
beauty
go.
and
Go,
protect
Daddy,
all
go.
life.
Hey, D2K Dragon, thank you for the 9 months of support. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. With our concussive palms next turn, we might be able to get out of this alive. They have some chump blocks here. One of these is a free chump block now because they're at enough mana where they don't need that anymore. Yep. I'm here to support the squirrel. How do I support the squirrel? God bless. Pix is good at getting spell shield off of things. You're not wrong.
Where's the squirrel?
I haven't drawn it. The card we can't beat getting randomly generated is a huge feel bad.
It's Pix!
Must die.
So we need to hit, like, another witch here, perhaps?
Your arrogance is impressive.
It is the least impressive thing about me.
So silence clears keywords and not abilities. No, it clears everything, but silence until end of turn effects don't make this forget its targets. So if you permanently silence this, it deals with it, but all of the silences in my colors, like Hush, are whimsier until end of turn effects.
Pix makes perfect.
We at least get to pop spell shields here. Do you not remember what old dial-up modems sound like, Tron? It definitely sounds like an old dial-up modem.
Wonder at my creations.
Pix power!
It's time to shine.
I won't stop now.
Vroom, vroom.
No time to rest.
Off we go!
This isn't lethal, but it, like, does stuff, I guess.
You must be very.
We're just not gonna beat the Ori install, right? So off the 3, it doesn't matter.
I dim.
Nah, it's not a good play. It's just, we don't have any other choices here, so we're dead. Yeah, I think we need to put some. I think we need to put some Will of Iona in our deck here. We just can't beat that 8/8 without it. Probably like a pair. We'll send something back to their hands so we can at least tempo them. Probably can't play 3 concussive palms with that. Trim a Twin Disciples as well, maybe. Hey, Pale Cascade, we're really not that good at triggering Nightfall. Let's do that for now. Oh yeah, someone asked about the pre-count in the store. The pre-count in the store is cheaper than buying all those cards individually. So if you think you're someone that's eventually going to be purchasing your way through cards in the game, it's a pretty decent pickup. Might be right to mulligan some of these looking for a 2-drop since I have Flower Child on one. So I can support this on 2.
Punish transgressions.
In fact, I'm attacking at evens here. Kind of sucks with this hand. Well, I guess I get to go Lulu into Taric, which isn't terrible. Trundle Acel with Solari Soldier in. It's an interesting choice.
Wow, I made a familiar. Oh, whoa, behave! Who's a hungry little munchkin?
I think I just get Taric down and get him leveling. I guess maybe actually I start by attacking, because this is the Trundle turn, right?
Let's use all the cups to blow friends.
If I play Taric and then they play Trundle, I can't attack. So I can just get my hit in for 6 here.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the...
I'm ready to shine.
So you want to be a sunflower, eh?
Well, you see, everything is cheaper than Magic. Do I want to save Lulu or Taric here? I think it's probably just let this happen, replay Taric.
I'm ready to shine.
Our mountain groves are full of dangers, but I know them all. Stand back.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this here to start. And then we can play Squirrel, and Taric can support this over onto the Squirrel, which is great. I can play Taric here as well to support the Flower Child. They're at 7 mana. Okay, with them playing the Lanari Priestess out here, I think I do just play Taric the Traveler out. I think if they kept all 7 mana and just passed back, I would attack, but...
But to yourself.
I agree, Cap. Could do this. They want this 2/4 to eat this. Their 2/4 will die next turn when it kills itself. Steals damage to itself every turn.
Heretic.
Next turn, they hit Dial-Up Dragon mana. One Will of Iona, please.
Protect you. Stay strong.
Hey, thanks, CCN. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. So I can play a Swole Squirrel and hold up and bank 3 mana this turn, which is nice. Card is just incredibly frustrating. At least we have answers to draw to in our deck now, I suppose.
Leave or burn. Faith.
Starting your climb, Tiari. It's about time.
I'll see you at the top.
Oh, you know what? I probably should have Zenith Bladed this with my mana, because it would have got me another Zenith Blade there. I think that's a miss on my part.
Knocked and ready.
So, made an adjustment for that card.
Greatest mentor.
Can't do anything without drawing it, unfortunately. And this is, so like I've been looking for a third, I've been looking for a third deck for the Runeterra Invitational thing I'm playing next weekend, and Lulu's like a sweet champion when she works, but none of the Lulu decks I've played so far really feel like they have a ton of player agency in them. Like, they have some choices to make, but I feel like a lot of my games involve just running down the opponent. You're mostly, they're not quite like the Diana Vi or the Fizz decks where there's like a lot of cheeky tricks and stuff to them. A lot of just getting people. They definitely seem powerful, but they don't really like scratch that itch that I'm looking to scratch by playing a card game.
Lulu! Where'd she go? Leave, Bob.
I'm playing Twisted Fizz and Diana Vi as two of my 3 decks. Yeah, there's a Diana Vi deck up on YouTube.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
Look, Lou, I made a picks too.
What's the second color Twisted Frizz? Freljord, which is unfortunate because it really restricts it.
This'll send them running.
Yeah, Neverglade, Shadow Isles, probably some type of Shadow Isles aggro is what I'm gonna look to play for the other one. The what's it called card? The look at 4 cards card is really reasonable. Grab a unit out of them, whatever it's called. Yeah, Stalking Shadows is super powerful. I wish Shadow Isles had like 1 more Nightfall unit in it so I could play Nocturne without Targon. But Nocturne without Targon right now feels pretty difficult.
Never lost a fair game. Dead in their tracks.
Come on, Rib.
Lady Luck is smiling.
We just take 4 here. Now I gotta decide how I want to sequence. So I've got 6 mana total this turn. And next turn, I'm going to have 6 plus whatever I have left over here. So if I bank 2 mana this turn, or 1 mana this turn, I could Mountain plus Zenith Blade, which I think is what I want to do. So I think I'm going to play out Traveler and Herald here. And then next turn, we'll go Zenith Blade on Squirrel into Mountain attack. Might also be right to just play out Taric this turn as opposed to the two 2/2s. Playing the 2/2s out is appealing though because it gives me more total supports for Mountain Sojourner. It was stunned. It was stunned by Twisted Fate's gold card. Yeah, there's a established Lulu Demacia deck, Wylar, that's also good. And like I said, like, I'm not saying the Lulu decks are bad, I'm just saying the types of play patterns that they generate aren't really the types of play patterns that I, like, play card games to experience, if that makes sense. I mean, not every deck's a Hush deck. And if you look at a lot of the top decks right now, Targon's not all over them. I think I'm just playing this and attacking this turn.
I thought they said this climb would be a challenge.
Yeah, taste is important. I feel like the 3-deck format kind of struggles for me in that way. Like, it's, like, I have 2 decks that I really like, but, like, finding a 3rd deck that I also want to play past that is proving difficult, especially with the faction restriction. Like, I have 3 or probably 4 decks that I really like right now, but most of them involve, like, Bilgewater or Targon as factions. So it's been difficult to find one that doesn't overlap with those others.
The Shield of Valoran?
Oathbreaker. Indeed, I am both.
Hey, Night Stars, thanks for the 29 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it.
I'll buy some time.
Yeah, I agree. The blocking overlapping decks definitely has to do with people not registering the same deck 3 times.
Careful.
Fade and be gone.
I would assume. I think I want to stay above 6 here so I don't die to double fever or whatever it is, the deal 3. Yeah, you have to have 6 unique regions between the 3 decks that you submit. Noxian Fervor, yeah, that's the one. Fervor, not Fever. I think playing around that is ideal. Hey, look at that, chat. It's those cards I played around. So I unfortunately cannot save him with Pale Cascade, but that's fine. I mean, I can make a mono region deck silenced, but I also, like, don't have a mono region deck in the other 4 regions that has, like, really sparked my interest.
Hazy, please ask again later.
Again, I'm being picky. There's decks that are good that fit those regions. They're just not decks that I like. Would classify as I love playing. I'd also kind of prefer whatever I end up playing be an aggro deck. I'm probably just supposed to open attacks here, right? Because they just drew an infinite number of cards. They could probably level Twisted Fate here. That being said, like, playing 2 more supports out is also kind of appealing.
Tell me, Sage, what does my future hold?
Vision hazy.
Please don't shark me. Don't warning shot shark me. You have to attack to dodge red card. Well, to get red carded, they would need to level Twisted Fate and then play 2 cards. And like, there's the huge punish, right? It's like, have that and hit both my things.
Go! Slow down! Keep up, keep up!
Looks like I'm on a hot streak.
Okay, so I want to put all of my gems on the one I'm giving lifelink to here. I guess there could be merit to gemming this up too, because it's at 2 life.
Keep going. Brace yourselves.
This card's very difficult to beat when it's leveled up, so every time they play a card now, they play blue card, red card, gold card in order, which draws, damages my stuff, and then stuns something. Hey, Fox, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. I guess pumping up the life on this exposes it to gold card, which is a little scary. At least get up to 9 with this play. But this dies to red card, this dies to gold card. Maybe we can steal the game with this next turn, depending on what the rest of their draw looks like. Yeah, but I'm also not killing them this turn. Weebo is the problem. So I agree it's difficult for them to gold card me this turn, but I'm like not winning this turn either. You can heal it out of range. No, they get priority to start. You can't play this in response to things. We're passing to their turn, chat. You can't respond to things with these. Okay.
Soak it in.
Alright. I think we do this so she doesn't die to gold card. Or to red card, only gold card. And then what if I Zenith Blade her this turn? Is that crazy? I can like Zenith Blade into Sojourners, then open attacks next turn. Just try and keep my elusives alive. I think I like that. I think playing a 7-mana spell that requires I have an 8-mana thing, an 8-power thing in play sounds real narrow, Lucarp. I think we're probably screwed against the Dial-Up Dragon regardless of what we play, but I think Will of Iona is probably the best thing to be playing. If they make it rain and hit my 5-2 here, I die.
Who says I don't share? Looks like trouble.
They've already played 2 Noxian Fervors. I'm just gonna hope that they don't have another one.
A conquest for Empire!
Ah, they're a swing deck. Got it.
In their tracks.
Yeah, that's the other one. That's fine. I think we're winning here. So we didn't quite we got our Swole Squirrel up to 30 power in one of the games. In general, this deck felt like I basically just slotted Swole Squirrel into the Lulu Taric shell. My takeaways were from the Lulu Taric shell this time through in general were Concussive Palm was a very good addition to the archetype. This archetype definitely feels like it struggles to have ways to blunt the blows against aggro, and Concussive Palm is both a way to slow down the aggressive decks and get you more attack steps you can get your supports in, while also being very useful in that it creates units that can end your support chains. Like you saw in that last game, for example, we frequently lack a unit for our support chain. That being said, the 8/8 dragon is just I think on average you just don't beat this card. We just don't have quality removal or a way to take it off the board. We added a couple of Will Iona at the top end, but like you're really hoping that like you draw this and hold it for exactly this, and the ramp decks playing this card just feel like a pretty unbeatable matchup. Does not feel like we can get under this card consistently. Playing one of our own. Yeah, it doesn't, playing our own doesn't actually do anything because it still like leaves our board locked down. Like at the core, this card's a huge counter to these go wide support decks because picking 2 enemies effectively means a third of your board is rendered useless, right? Like they render the top third of your board useless, whatever it is. All right, at any rate, we are going to do a second Lulu deck. I am considering picking Lulu as my third deck for the event next weekend. We're going to play some Lulu Shen with a little bit bigger build with Elm Heart and Genevieve Lancer. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get things set up and flipped over. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with this one. Thanks for hanging out today, folks.